Welcome to the Wretched Hive podcast.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Moss Eisley Spaceport.
What are you talking about?
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
This is ridiculous.
We must be cautious.
Actually, we're just a bunch of guys talking about Star Wars and other stuff.
I'm looking forward to having some real talk with some real folks.
That's good news.
I like the sound of that.
Welcome to the Sunday edition of the Wretched Hive podcast. My name is Steve Baldwin, and it's a little bit of a different show today. I'm flying solo. We were planning on doing a standard 4x4 or 5x5 show today. If you remember last week, we talked about running down our top 5 lightsaber battles in the Star Wars Pantheon. But that is not happening this week. We changed course, primarily due to the fires that happened last week and the carnage that ensued across LA County. Secondarily, due to a tragedy that occurred in my family. And so we have shifted gears. We just didn't feel like it was the time to get into lightsaber battles when so much was happening around us. And so what a better way to deal with, for me, to deal with tragedy than to try and do something good and try and help people. And that's what we're going to try to do today. So today's topic is the LA fire, how to get help and how to give help. Last week, I can't remember which day it was, but I was watching the news in the morning, and the dignitaries from all the different agencies that are supporting fire, sheriff, my department, Department of Public Health, Health Services, all these different agencies were up at the podium talking about the fires, talking about how to get help. And each representative gave a different website, a different phone number to call, a different way to connect and to donate. And I was confused by it. So I'm hoping to sort of congeal all that into a few resources that listeners can use if they need help. And those of us that aren't directly impacted, which in LA, there aren't very many people that haven't been directly or indirectly impacted. If you are not directly impacted, chances are you know someone that has been, or you know someone that knows someone that has been. It's been a 1 or 2 degrees of separation situation in LA with these fires. Between the Palisades and the Eaton fire, it's such a huge area that's been impacted. And LA has, the reputation of being this huge county, and of course it is. It's 4,000 square miles. It's 10 million people almost. And yet it's strange how we come together as a community to help one another when there's an emergency. And so that's what we're doing today, sharing resources that hopefully can help those that need help or that want to give help. All right, so first of all, how do you track these fires? How do you know where the fires are and how to access resources? So, well, first of all, you can go to fire.ca.gov. Fire.ca.gov is a website that is run by the Department of Forestry and Fire Protection, and you can look at the status of any fire that's happening in the state. And so right now there's only 2, which is amazing. There's just the Palisades and the Eaton fire. So if you scroll down below the map here, and you can click a little more deeply into either one of these. So I'll click on Palisades first. You can see the Palisades fire is still burning. As of this morning, it was something like 50% contained. And you can see there's still a huge evacuation area around the Palisades fire. So downtown LA is going to be further over here to the east. And then we can go back and look at the Eaton fire. Let me zoom into the Eaton Fire, and you can see. So now we're up north of downtown LA. Here's Pasadena. Downtown would be down here somewhere. Eaton Fire, still burning. If you go back to the home page, here you can see Palisades 52% contained, Eaton Fire 81% contained. So this is the site that the public agencies use and have recommended for the public to use for tracking. So that's fire.ca.gov. All right, so the other site you can use is the Department of Public Health. I'll just type in LACDPH hotline. And that is the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health InfoLine. Let me try InfoLine. InfoLine. There it is. This number is a toll-free number, 833-540-0473. There are real people, not an animated phone system, but real people online, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., 7 days a week. They can give you information on fire resources, on COVID resources, on nutrition, food security resources, on housing, and also on things like maternal health, tobacco cessation, anything related to public health programs. This is the number to call, 833-540-0473. The people there are great, very knowledgeable. Highly recommend using that number. You can also call 211. 211 is like a emergency information line. It's like the 411 for social services in any city in the U.S. I think it works in like 95% of the cities, but specifically for LA County, you can also use 211. But the Public Health Info Line 833-540-0473 is these resources are specific to LA County public health programs. So this is a great resource for fire and COVID and housing and food and etc. in LA County. All right, so you need help from FEMA. Let's say you do anyway. You need help from FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, Federal Emergency Management Agency, run by the federal government. How do you access FEMA resources? Where do you go? There's several ways to do it. If you have internet access, the best way to do it, the most efficient way to do it, is to go to disasterassistance.gov. And this is the federal government's sort of entrance portal to getting help. So you go to disasterassistance.gov. You click apply now, and that starts your application process. I think you have to enter, let's click it really quick. No, I'm not a robot. Yeah, enter your zip code, your state, and that gets the process going. So that is what the federal government says is the most efficient way to go through is through their website, disasterassistance.gov. There's also a mobile device. You can search for the FEMA app, whether you're on Android or iOS. And then you can also call the FEMA Helpline. See if I can find that phone number. Well, I'll just tell it to you. The phone number is 800-621-3362. That's the FEMA Helpline at, there we go. 800-621-3362. That's the FEMA Federal Emergency Management Agency hotline or helpline. Now, the final way I'll just share is through the American Red Cross. And this one's easy to remember, redcross.org. That will get you to the Red Cross homepage. Red Cross, of course, has been around for 100 years. Very reliable and authentic agency. You can also call the Red Cross, a very easy way to do that. Toll-free number, 1-800-RED-CROSS. 800-733-2767. You can also text the word CAWILDFIRES to 90999. So CAWILDFIRES. Text that to the number 90999 to get help from the American Red Cross. All right, so those are resources if you need help. Not meant to be an exhaustive list, by the way. There are other ways to get help, but those are low-hanging fruit, easy ways that I know of that you can get help in LA County or for any emergency. But specifically to the fires in LA County right now, those are some good ways to get help. All right, what if you want to give help? So you're in a position where you're able to give help and resources, and specifically financial resources. How do you do that? Well, one way is GoFundMe. Now, GoFundMe is a web-based place that you can donate funds. You can start a GoFundMe for an individual or a cause. Some people are a little hesitant. I've been talking with folks about all the GoFundMes that are out there. There's a lot of people that are in need. That's why there's a lot of GoFundMes out there right now. I did a little bit of research, and fraud on GoFundMe is very rare. But if you're worried about it, your donation through GoFundMe is guaranteed for the first year. So if you make a donation through GoFundMe for someone that you don't know or someone that barely know, that donation is guaranteed for a year. So you're good. Make the donation. If it's $1, if it's $5, it's $10, $20, $50, $100, whatever you can give it if you can afford it. Give what you can afford. The other thing that you can give is your time. If you know the person and you know they're struggling, whether or not they accept your offer of help, as someone who has struggled in the past, to have someone say, hey, you're not alone. What do you need? It helps so much just to have someone there that is offering. So you can do that too, and that doesn't cost anything. So that's another option that I just thought of. But GoFundMe, very reliable, very safe place to, secure place to donate your money. Okay, so the last resource I'll offer in terms of making a donation is the City of LA's LA Strong campaign. And to find this, you'd go to lacity.gov, LA Strong. lacity.gov/LA Strong. So what's cool about this is there are 3 sort of buckets that LA City has created with this LA Strong campaign. One is the California Community Foundation that does a lot of great work, and particularly with Black and brown communities. And CCF is ensuring that the most vulnerable Angelenos get supported in those communities that are typically overlooked or historically marginalized. They specialize in making sure that those folks get assistance, and same is true for wildfire support. So a CCF, California Community Foundation, is a great agency to donate to. The other one, the second one that you can donate to here through lacity.gov/LA Strong is the Los Angeles Fire Department Foundation. The first responders, those that are running towards the fire to put the fire out, the heroes, the real heroes, real life heroes in this tragedy are the men and women of the LA Fire Department and the Sheriff's Department. So consider donating to them. You can go to supportlafd.org, but the easy way to remember is just go to lacity.gov/LA Strong, that LA Strong campaign. If you forget the website, just Google LA Strong campaign and you'll find it. And then lastly, they too have set up a GoFundMe account. So you can donate directly there to the GoFundMe account. So lacity.gov/LA Strong will get you to a safe and secure place where you can donate and know that your funds are going to help people in need, or those folks that are the true heroes and the first responders. All right, that's all I got. Really want to thank you for indulging us this week. Hopefully next week we'll get back to some Star Wars talk and we'll feel more up to getting into pop culture-y things and having a little fun with each other. This week, we're keeping our thoughts and positive energy focused on those that need it most, and those are the victims of the fires and our families that are struggling and suffering. Hope you'll do the same. Thank you so much. Have a great week. And until next week, may the Force be with us all.